She's touchless, but can feel. You see, she's blind to the fact that she's grown accustomed and not comfortable. And she's deaf to the meaningless tone in his claims and he's in love with her. She's mute because she wants to tell him that it's changed, but is concerned on how to take it though. And she can't put her finger on it, but she feels that it's not like it once was, and she's still afraid to let him know. It's then she shifts the blame at her and questions why she hasn't cherished all the blessings God has given her. She feels that she's not put in the effort that up to now she feels still lies in her. And now unconsciously, she's began to lie to her. And by her, I mean herself. So take and say just what you want and not feed off of what is left. So see yourself for what you're worth and listen to the compliments that surround you, that unknowingly or accidentally you might not have heard. And speak on what you want. And remember who you're living for. But then you will touch the sky with both your feet still on the turf. I'll tell you from a man's perspective that there's nothing more attractive than a woman who knows what she's worth. Have you show me things I haven't seen before? I want to grip your waist, pull your hair, and kiss you where no man is daddy. I want to use my mouth and not my hands, and don't cut the lights or close the door. And don't feel the fear, and let me show you exactly what it was made for. But see, before you get ahead of me, I want to strip you of your insecurities and open your eyes to what I can provide. And I want to have you show me the real you that lies beyond what one's eyes can see. And I want to grip your waist only to reassure you that I'm there. And I want to pull your head behind your ear only to tell you what you are to me. And I want to kiss your emotional bruises that were there before I touched you. And I want to verbally express myself before we do the unthinkable. Hence me using my mouth or my hands. And don't cut the lights on a chance or close the door of opportunity that's been presented. And don't feel the fear, for that's what the heart was made for. Pretend that we've done more than some people can imagine, fantasize, or ever feel. But now that we're done before play, let me stimulate your mind for real. You see, I learned that to help a woman reach climax, it's got to be spontaneous. Do it in a numerous of random places. And don't keep it restricted to the bed, but do it in places you know are inappropriate. And act accordingly, but do things out of the ordinary. For example, the library. A place of silence, studies, and research. Because you see, I can keep quiet. But she's a screamer, speaker. And she loves to elaborate on every point that stands up out. And and eat out every once in a while. That sounded bad, my bad. What I meant to say is go down to her favorite restaurant and make reservations ahead of time. And savor the moment as you would an aged bottle of wine. And don't get me started on the workplace, because I could fuck with the workplace and work her in a number of positions that she's never had experience in. And I still pull your head, but that's behind your head only to reassure myself you're listening. And she got a sick body, but the way she thinks is contagious, and I don't know which one to get the prescription. And I'm talking support when I mention that I'm feeling and the emotional scars left behind some time ago. And even with the window shut, her eyes remain glistening and steer me in the right direction with my direction of thoughts to all the correct spots. The number one being her heart. And I could feel her legs shaking, knowing it's something that she's never felt before. Just give me 30 minutes and we can give this a second go. But she repays me the favor and turns the TV to ESPN, knowing it's 30 minutes to catch it on sports. The Cowboys, the Longhorns, the Rangers, and Bulls. But you see, she's become my star player and schooled me in several ways. She deserves a diamond, but that's the free time because of the way that she's blew me away. And is it crazy to say that I yet to lay a finger on her? Because in the library she was screaming because I didn't comprehend the question on my homework. And the restaurant, well, I did, because in the library she was screaming because I didn't comprehend the question on my homework. And the restaurant, well, I did it to show to the world that she's my woman and not my girl. And the workplace, well, it's to illustrate the number of positions that she held in her life and be respected in the workforce. And her legs were shaking in fear to hurt again, but has placed herself in a position that she's not dealing with a boy but a gentleman. You see, I can honestly say I got into her. I stimulated her mind. Would you consider it intercourse? And if so, shit, I'm proud to say we do it on the regular. It's almost fortunate that we unconsciously erase those thin lines between need and want to the point that we feel we need and want, the things we feel. I mean lust, I mean love, I mean wait. What? Battered hearts and troubled mind with open wounds all intertwined are disillusioned thoughts and beliefs that have grown even stronger with time. You see, these are the confessions of an asshole. Shit, at least mine. I was young and in love, so I thought that I ran home that spring afternoon and looked for my father so that we could discuss my approach to the girl that I secretly loved. But I got home and as usual, my father at work. But you see, I kept my mentality and said, fuck it. Though those are my actual words. And I sat by the window that night that gave a clear view of both my driveway and street. And I swear to you, that every pair of headlights I saw, I yelled to the top of my lungs and yelled, Poppy, 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 Poppy. To as far as my eyes allowed me to see. This entire time I thought my mother was sleeping. But y'all know, as I know, that mothers have that sixth sense, and I sensed something was bothering me. So she came to the kitchen, grabbed 2 cups, filled one with water and the other with grape juice, and shot a Benadryl that she thought I didn't see. Then she asked what was wrong, but as a man, see, I was taught not to speak. On emotions, at least. But damn, was this girl fine. I mean, beautiful. So it didn't take long for her to get a few things out of me. So I told her my situation, and she smiled and said to me that I was handsome as I was, and being me is what made me, me. And then I told her that I didn't know what to say, and no word, phrase, or song can begin to describe how unique her canvas takes frame, such a beautiful piece. Her soft-spoken voice coexists with her chapped, yet well lip gloss and lips. She smiled and said to me, time for bed, don't you think? So I knocked back the last of my juice, and as the Benadryl grew thick, I grabbed a crayon out of my little brother's box. I wrote exactly what I thought. You see, I no longer know, because remember, these are the confessions of an asshole. So both written and sealed with a name on the note, because I couldn't go without at least letting them know. So to close the letter, I wrote, would you be my girlfriend? Circle one of the choices below. See, I got it back at the end of the day, and she tossed it to me and said she had to go. She jumped to the back of the bus to watch as I opened the letter to find that she had circled, no. But written below, it read that we could be best friends forever, though. I honestly didn't know how to quite to take that. To this day, that bus departing summer started my day, my heart had hardened, still plays back. Because even to this day, no worthwhile female has changed it. She claims to want a guy that she can trust, but goes for the guy that has a reputation to cheat. She says she wants somebody that'll be there, but she goes for the guy that has a tendency to leave. She complains to me that she meant nothing to him, and cries and says he was everything to me. See, I'm trying to pierce your mind with food of thought, but who'd have thought that changing me to give a fuck? Because honestly, I'm the guy you seen the one. I pound my chest and show my tats. 8 years up and 4 shots in is when I finally decide to call you back and ask if I can come over. You know damn well what follows it. Next day out, I'm with the guys and brag about the shit I pulled. I'm in that crowd, and you know there's that one guy that's thinking, damn, you better fuck up something. Instead, she calls that other guy and asks if he could come through. Knowing what he's doing, he parts and packing plays it. The thing about it is, he's going over to make us mine, with no real point to prove. Then he calls, yeah, the asshole. So she calls the nice guy back and tells him other plans have just pulled through. So on his way back, he sees the other guy leave. And then you ask me why the fuck we act the way we do? These are the confessions of an asshole. Yeah, at least the ones that I've been through. November 18th, 1519 marked the day Hernando Cortés invaded Aztec territory. He abused their trust and loyalty, and he made their history into his story. You see, they thought him to be a god, so why would they defy his actions? With his crew of 500, he nearly abolished an Aztec nation that ranks in the millions. Or we can fast forward a couple of years to the Mexican-American War that robbed our land and named our borders. One quest for power turned to torture. And explain to me why September 16th is often overlooked by Mexicanos, but were quick to pop a bottle with tequila on every Cinco de Mayo. See, my parents would have backhanded my ass had I not learned the difference. You see, we're the product of the sum of two people and the quotient among society. Yet we only who we strive to be. Because once we begin to constrain our range of possibilities by following and acting within stereotypes, people will stop looking at you, start looking past you. And people will continue to throw negative stares your way. Shit, make that stare be worth it. And if you catch anything from it, I hope you catch these numbers I'm throwing at you. 19 states are predominantly Latino, and we're the fastest growing ethnic group. Yet only 58% Latinos at 25 have received a high school diploma or a GED. And of those 58, only 12 received a bachelor's degree. What I'm trying to say is, be the change you're trying to see. Because if my 86-year-old abuelita that has dislocated her hip bone not once but twice can still stand when the preacher speaks, what in hell is keeping y'all in y'all's damn seat? So I raise my glass and propose to those that comprehend the meaning. That's not about having my back. It's about standing there with me. Y bebe al cambio que gustas ver. And I'm not saying research your roots. You should acknowledge it here. Because the war of success has been in our own backyards for years. Don't allow yourself to become a sequel, but instead become a worldwide premiere de lo que es ser Latino.